Welcome back to Fixing My Faith, and so I want to say thank you to the viewers out there for sending in some more questions, a few subscribers. We're just starting out, so I appreciate everything I can see, and I do appreciate the questions the most, because this is what helps me to create more videos. And the expertise that I have to offer the world is I've been a Jehovah's Witness for 30 years, and I did a lot with the organization, and I walked away on my own and made some decisions, and I share that in a lot of my videos. But we have an interesting question, a very timely question. What do Jehovah's Witnesses think about the Pope? What do Jehovah's Witnesses think about the Pope? Now, I want to let Jehovah'sWitness.org do the answering. Let's go right to them, and I don't want to say anything, and I'll let you guys decide. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, welcome to the website. So we just went to the JW.org site, plugged in Pope. Anybody can do this. It's open to everyone. And you'll notice all the articles on the Pope it's all questions, lead-in questions, negative lead-in questions. Are popes infallible? The Pope is not infallible. They go on and on. So I want to get right to the meat of it. Was Peter the first Pope? This is the meat of everything. So we go right to the article. Was Peter the first Pope? They come right down here. And they discredit the Bible. Here's how they do it. Everyone knows this scripture. I'm going to flip over to this scripture, this well-known scripture in Matthew 16. And Jesus is saying, he says, I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell, in the JW Bible it says Hades. So on the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. So we all know that the Catholic Church, from there, Constantine was the first of the Roman Empire to state Christianity following this rock that Peter set up here. And that's why the Catholic Church has such a stronghold. And I didn't realize all this. I was a JW for 30 years. I didn't realize all this until I started writing my book here 6 months ago. It'll be out soon, Judged Out of Truth. But I've been exposing all of these. It's a reteaching. So I'm reteaching myself. So I thought, why not reteach my kids and reteach the world? And that's what you'll see. But here we go to their site. What do they say about this? They say, when writing regarding certain inconsistencies in the way Peter treated people, Paul respectfully but frankly stated, I oppose him face to face because he was clearly wrong. Well, that's true. That was said. There was a discrepancy between Peter and Paul in Galatians, and this is a way after Christ, because Paul came after Christ died. So here, the Watchtower's words. This is not the Bible. This is the Watchtower words. They twist things. They say Paul did not think that Christ had built his church or congregation upon Peter or any other imperfect man. On the contrary, he believed that the congregation was built on Jesus Christ as a foundation for Paul. All of that is all Watchtower. So this is how they're really sneaky. And then you see this little bit of the Bible? The rock was the Christ. That's it. That's the Bible. And this is how they trick people into inculcating wrong ideas. So, number one, if Peter and Paul had a little discrepancy, so what? It doesn't change the fact that Jesus gave Peter the keys. It's right here. It's very clear. If you go to my site, I talk about the Magi, the paganism, and how the Watchtower has discredited the Magi. And again, Matthew's writings. So now we're going to go really deep. Because the question posed is, what are Jehovah's Witnesses' general thinking upon the Catholic Church and the Pope? So here it is. So Babylon the Great has fallen. This is this Revelation Grand Climax book. I went through it with my kids. I went through it twice myself. Babylon the Great is false religion, namely the Catholic Church. We go all the way down, and I'll show you. I'll let them speak. It says, a prominent part of Babylon the Great is the Roman Catholic Church, period. The church is governed by the Pope in Rome and claims that each Pope is successor of the Apostle Peter. So claims. Following are some published facts about these so-called successors. So now they took a look at all these different popes and they discredited them, looked at all their bad sides. If you take a look at the modern day governing body and go online, you can see their bad sides. So anybody can play that game. So here we are. Here's how they feel. And this is what I taught my kids. This is what I taught my little kids while I was in the faith. Thus, rather than following these examples of faithful Peter, these and other popes were an evil influence. Evil influence. That's what they taught us about the Catholic Church and the Pope. They taught us that they allowed blood guilt and spiritual and physical fornication, as well as a Jezebel influence to corrupt the church they ruled. So this is what they teach. And it all goes back to these 1917, the Bible students, Rutherford. You'll see this in some of my other videos, this seditious book he pumped out, The Finished Mystery. And this book we're reading in right now is a seditious book. It's still available through the Watchtower. So this is what they feel about the Catholic Church and the Pope. Now, on a better note, I've been out of it for 10 years, and so obviously I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. And I do a lot of research, and I've been researching Pope Francis, and he's actually quite a wonderful guy. In fact, he was part of the Jesuit order, and he took a vow of poverty. One of his things that he's known for, he turned down the fancy apartment to the Vatican because he wants to live. He doesn't want to live fancy, and he lives like us, just like us common people. So he's coming to Edmonton and area, and I encourage everyone, if you can, wave at Pope Francis and look him up. At least put out some good vibes. And if you really study up on him, he was a good guy. So now I want to move on, folks. You can go to my channel, Fixing My Faith on YouTube. I have a lot of videos posted, Fixing My Faith on YouTube, and you'll get questions, a lot of questions you have right there. You can subscribe right there. Or better yet, go to my homepage on Patreon. And Patreon, you just plug in patreon.com. It doesn't cost you anything. You can find me, Fixing My Faith. All you do is you plug it in. You see I show up here. Now I already got it open just to save it. And I pulled down to Rutherford. Now this guy is ground zero for the Jehovah's Witness. And you go and watch him. And this is part of my reteaching my kids on JW.org. So I go right to the site, JW.org site, and I teach them all about the founder of this cult. And I call it Ground Zero. And today I call it the first immunization teaching from the Bible. Because if you have a virus, you have to immunize yourself, and you got to learn. You got to go to ground zero to do that. And I talk about that in my book a little bit. But I have a lot of stuff on this site, a lot of good things. Jehovah's Witness, the 10 Commandments, what is a true religion? Yeah, join me on my site here. And it's called Jehovah's Witnesses Reteaching. So until next time, friends, live your life with love and have a good day. Bye for now.